Why are you here? Why am I here? Deck tech.
Maybe you already answered this, but why exactly are we here?
The next deck I'm testing out is Zerda with infinite turns.
How deep does that hole go?
Hi there, my name's Tommy. You're here to watch a deck tech for Kess Dissident Mage at the competitive EDH level. You're here to win the game very quickly, very rapidly, and not make any friends while doing so.
We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir!
You can build Kess in a multitude of ways. Reanimator, Spellslinger, mostly just combo variants. The most common competitive way to run Kess with Reanimator is with Worldgorger Dragon, making infinite combos even as early as turn 1. With my Reanimator package, we have a bit of a larger ensemble of creatures to reanimate to torture our opponents with. These are they. Our number one daddy to reanimate here is gitaxias. He comes into play. If we can hold him to the end of our turn, we draw 7 fresh cards. Then we have all the counter spells of removal. For every opponent that cannot answer gitaxias, at the end of their turn, they discard their entire hand. My second favorite guy to get in play early is Void Winnower. He says your opponents can't cast even cost mana spells 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 up the chain. That locks out commanders, counter spells, lots of amazing removal. Void Winnower stops a lot of your opponents in their tracks immediately, hamstrings them, guts them. They can't respond to a lot of things because it cuts out half of the casting cost of their entire deck. Void Winnower. Moving on, tied for third is Sire of Stagnation and Consecrated Sphinx. They both do the job of drawing me some cards. I prefer Sire of Stagnation because exiling cards at the top of their deck can randomly win you a game, getting rid of their tutor targets and other win cons. If you're playing in the likes of Tatyova, Gitrog, Lord Windgrace, Sire of Stagnation is incredible. They try and ramp their lands, they exile their cards, you draw lots of cards. Win, win, win. Everybody's happy. No one's happy but you. You're happy, you draw cards, they lose. It's happy for us. Also, Consecrated Sphinx, drawing cards whenever they get their draw triggers, either from Gitrog or Tatyova. Tide, Spout, Tyrant. Alternate casting cost. Alternate casting cost. Alternate. When adjusted for alternate casting cost, this deck's average CC is below 1. It's 0.94. We have lots and lots of free spells and 1 mana spells. With things like Tide, Spout, Tyrant, we're able to bounce multiple permanents back to their owner's hands. Lands included. You get him down on turn 1 or turn 2, play a couple of brainstorm with cantrips, you pull their lands to their hand, you've time walked everybody to the table, you're probably going to win that game. People with no lands are no threat. Get rid of their lands early in the game, they can't do anything to you.
It's gone.
So how do we get these 5 thick boys in play early in the game? Let me show you. So for our 5 reanimation targets, we have 5 reanimation spells. However, we do run a multitude, about 14 discard outlets. We have a lot more discard outlets because we have a lot more wheels and other synergies in the deck. The hardest part is getting them into the graveyard. Once we do that, we can easily tutor out and find a reanimation spell. As you can see, a lot of our discard outlets are able to be used defensively or offensively. Such as Thoughtseize and Cabal Therapy, we can rip cards from our opponent's hands. So step 1, phase 1 of reanimating things. Find the big fatty. If it's in your hand, you discard it. If it's in the deck, you tutor it out, then you discard it. Once you got your thick boy in the yard, you got to reanimate him. Super easy. He's in play. Now protect him. Other notable fun things: reanimate, animate dead, and dance of the dead can all be used on your opponent's creatures as well. If they discard something of value, take their stuff, beat them with it. Thanks to our commander Kess, whenever anything's in the graveyard, it's recastable later. Cast Kess, recast reanimation spells. The game doesn't end.
You should have gone for the head.
You stay here. I need some coffee. Jump cut. We're back. Anyway, if you've had your fill of necrophilia, we'll go ahead and move on to some more nefarious synergies. The reanimation package is a distraction. It's the fun part of the deck. This is the real power. This is the core, the soul, the heart. This is the Throckmorton of the deck, if you will. Don't get a Throckmorton, boys and girls. Bad news. Don't Google it either. Every deck that has blue, CEDH, you're going to have Thassa's Oracle. It's how you win. Super easy, infinite ways to do it. Here's the cheater ways. Let's get to it. Thassa's Oracle. If you have no deck and you cast it, you win. So we have to have ways to exile our deck. We have 3 distinct ways to exile our library in this deck to win with Thassa's Oracle. 1, Demonic Consultation. Name a card not in your deck, yo mama. Your deck flips, Thassa's Oracle resolves, you win. Tainted Pact. If you hit 2 cards that are the same name, you stop. All of our lands are different, everything is different. It's Commander, single card format. So you flip your entire deck, Thassa's Oracle resolves, you win. The convoluted way that I enjoy is with LED and Underworld Breach, using Wheel of Fortune or even Windfall to discard your hand, draw 7, discard your hand, draw 7, blah, 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 flip your entire deck, and then Thassa's Oracle from play or from the graveyard, reanimating it to win. That only covers the bottom half of these cards. What about the other cards, you're asking?
Looking for speed! Go!
The top half of this is how you compete at a CEDH level. You remove your opponent's hands, you take away their tutors, don't let them have any fun. Both Hullbreacher and Narset are very common ways to make it so your opponents can't draw extra cards, either on their own or when you make them. If you play a wheel effect with either Narset or Hullbreacher in play, your opponents get nothing or near nothing and you get a lot of resources. I also use Chains of Mephistopheles in this deck as a similar Hullbreacher variant. Since we play so heavily out of the graveyard with Kess and reanimation spells, discarding cards and then drawing cards, being able to filter and cultivate a strong hand is valuable to us. Other opponents, other decks may not be able to do it as easily as us. Dak Thaden's great early in the game to steal Mox Diamonds, Soul Rings, Mana Crypts. If you ever play against an Urza deck, bring Dak Thaden, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen these cards yet, get used to it. They're going to be in every deck until they're banned.
But what is grief? If not love, persevering.
Hullbreacher, Op Agent, and Dockside Extortionist are three very common creatures in EDH and CEDH. If you haven't seen them yet, get them now. The prices are going to keep going up. Or hold out, wait for good proxies, and just use those. On to cantrips and tutors. We have 10 exact tutors to find whatever you want in your deck. Top, bottom, in the middle, in your hand, in the graveyard. You need it, you find it, you put it into play. You twist it, you jingle it. I mean, you know what this is. It does it. Cantrip, draw, cycle, flip, wheel. Oh! Other than our 10 tutors, we have a myriad of ways to sift through our deck, finding the cards that we need for any particular moment of the game. There isn't a whole lot to be said here. Mystic Remora is also a major staple in every CEDH deck. Both Dig Through Time and Dark Confidant don't give the opponents treasures for their effects, such as Smothering Tithe and Hullbreachers of their own. Next up is counters and removal. We've got 8 hard counter spells, we've got 2 blasts, which can be counter spells or removal pieces. CEDH, lots of blue decks, blasts are always in play. We then have 6 target removals and 2 sweepers. We have 3 hand disruption spells, again, offensive or defensive. Fire Covenant, incredible removal, especially in the competitive formats. Some of the best counter spells to use out of the graveyard are Pact of Negation and Mental Misstep, because things like Force of Will or Misdirection, Force of Negation, have alternate casting costs which you can't pay for out of the graveyard using Snapcaster Mage or Kess. My 2 favorite pieces of removal are Pongify and Rapid Hydrazation. They are underutilized in the format and they can destroy anything.
You killed 6 of my friends.
As you can see, lots of 0 mana, 1 mana, 2 mana, alternate casting cost 0 mana spells to get rid of things, counter things, shoo. Last things, ramp, lands, leftovers. Hold up. First things first. Wizards, you cowards, reprint fetch lands, reprint dual lands, get rid of that stupid list. Come on, it's foolish. No land should cost thousands of dollars. You're stupid.
No! That's the button that will kill everyone! Try again.
Quick and dirty, we got 29 lands. We got 10 fetch lands, we got 6 dual lands, we have 4 basics, 1 is snow covered, has to be, otherwise Tainted Pact doesn't work. 3 lands of any color mana. Then here on the bottom you have some unfetchables, double colorless, nice for turn 1 Hullbreachers. These are value, need them in the deck. The games normally end with no more than 3 or 4 lands in play. Most of these you'll never even see. It's also good to have some basics because of things like Assassin's Trophy and Path to Exile. Mana Drain. You see that's here as a ramp spell. Weird. If on turn 2 you counter someone's spell for 2 mana, you untap, you get 2 extra mana. That may be enough even to ramp into playing and hard casting one of your big fatty boys. Some of my favorite plays in this deck are catching people off guard with a turn 1 Hullbreacher or Opposition Agent. Either a 2 mana land or a 2 mana rock and a basic or a mox behind me. 3 mana, leave it open, pass turn. If they use a fetch land, a tutor, or a brainstorm, drop it, crush them. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Oh, balls. This is it, nothing's left. That's it, full stop. Deck's done, this is the deck. There's links in the bio. I've looked at other people's lists. I've linked their videos down in the bio. Watch everybody's video. They're all really good. People make incredible decks. Find your flavor, do what you want. Get out, have fun, stay safe, be vaccinated. The next deck I'm testing out is Zerto with infinite turns. Let me know if you're interested in that one.